India tightens its
artificial intelligence, also called synthetically generated information, and take effect from February 20th. I don't welcome you're watching NewsX Explained. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. Today we are taking you through what are the new laws, what changes, and what does this signal for India's AI strategy. Well, for the first time, India's IT rules formally define and regulate AI content. This includes audio, visual, and audiovisual content that is artificially or algorithmically created or altered to appear real or indistinguishable from real people or real-world events. The definition targets deepfakes and AI-generated impersonations, but at the same time, it clearly excludes routine editing, accessibility features, academic and training materials, and good faith technical or formatting changes that do not materially alter the content. The rules also make it clear that whatever is already illegal under Indian law will remain illegal even if it is created using AI. Under the new framework, digital platforms and intermediaries are required to put safeguards in place. These safeguards must prevent the creation or spread of illegal synthetic content, including AI-generated material related to child sexual abuse, non-consensual intimate imagery, obscenity, impersonation, forged or false electronic records, and content linked to explosives, arms, or ammunition. They must now also inform users that violations involving synthetic content may lead to account suspension, content removal, disclosure of user identity to victims, and mandatory reporting to law enforcement authorities where required under criminal law, including offences under child protection and election laws. In simple terms, the government has drawn a clear line. Using artificial intelligence does not create a legal loophole, it only adds another layer of accountability. The new rules also put the onus on platforms' dissemination of such content. Social media platforms and digital intermediaries that allow the creation or sharing of synthetic audio, video, or images will be legally required now to clearly and prominently label such content as AI generated. No hidden tags or fine print. The label must be visible, unambiguous, and impossible to miss for the viewer. Not just that, platforms must embed technical traceability markers or metadata that identify where the content originated and which system created or distributed it. In other words, platforms cannot simply take users at their word. Under the new rules, failure to minutes, authorities say delayed takedowns are no longer acceptable. The new AI rules, they insist, are designed not to censor speech but to prevent irreversible harm in the current digital ecosystem. The flip side argument, therefore, is that AI-generated deepfakes pose a new category of threat requiring faster intervention. India's new AI rules explicitly recognize that synthetic content must be treated as unlawful content if used maliciously. The logic is that AI has fundamentally changed the scale and speed of misinformation, so regulation must evolve accordingly. Now, big social media intermediaries face the toughest task. Significantly large platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube get additional obligations under the new rule for 1A. Before any upload goes live, they must require users to declare whether the content is synthetically generated and deploy automated tools to verify those declarations. If a declaration or technical check confirms the content is AI made, the platform must display it with a visible label or notice. Here comes the notable rollback then. The October 2025 draft had proposed that visual labels cover at least 10% of display area and audio markers play during the first 10% of a clip. Industry bodies like IAMI called it rigid and unworkable. The final version drops that threshold. Labels are still mandatory, not just a giant watermark plastered across a tenth of your screen. But miss this and there's a liability hook built in. If a platform knowingly permits or promotes unlabeled synthetic content, it's deemed to have failed due diligence, and that's the kind of language that can cost you safe harbor protection. Platforms are also required to send periodic reminders at least once every 3 months about the rules around AI content and the consequences of violating them. Expect to see these show up in updated terms of service, privacy policies, or in-app notifications. When it comes to regulating AI-generated content, India is part of a broader global trend. In China, authorities have already moved ahead with mandatory labeling rules for AI-generated content. Effective 1st of September 2025, online platforms are required to add clear, explicit labels and metadata tags to AI-generated text, images, audio, video, and virtual scenes. Service providers are required to verify and tag content accordingly. The rules also spell out what is strictly not allowed. No person or platform can maliciously remove, alter, or hide AI-generated content labels. Providing tools or services that help others tamper with these labels is also banned. And finally, misusing or manipulating AI labels in a way that harms someone else's rights or interests is expressly prohibited. In the US, while there is no federal framework on AI, Some states have rules on AI-generated content. For example, in December 2025, New York Governor Kathy Hochul signed a law establishing disclosure requirements for advertisements that include AI-generated synthetic performance. Now, to address the opportunities and risks posed by rapid AI adoption, India has articulated an approach